Welcome to Deep Thought. Many people feel invisible. I was thinking about that because, if you're on social media or especially on YouTube, you get trolls. And, normally they're just dislikable people. Normally. But, I try to look at things from another perspective because then my question is, why are they trolls? What's one of the main things? Now, some of it could be they just want to annoy people, but sometimes they do what they do because it's the only time that people see them. I want y'all to think about that. Here's the thing. Many people are invisible. Many people are not seen. Many people, wait, hold on a sec. Sorry about that. But many people realize they don't stand out in the world. It could be for myriad reasons. It could be because they look average. Let's be real. They look average, or they don't have an outgoing personality. They introverted. They don't know how to dress to draw attention to themselves. So they'll just go through life. People might not see them. Indeed, I thought about that as a concept way back in high school. There's that book by Ralph Ellison, the legendary The Invisible Man. And it was about a black man who felt invisible. And the deeper meaning to that is he wasn't like literally invisible. The deeper meaning to that was people refused to see him. Because there's yet another level of being invisible. People refuse to see you as you are, truly are. They can't really see you as you are. They see you as, they look through you. You don't stand out. And many people are like this. And bringing that back around to like some trolls on YouTube, I thought about it. It's the only time that they can be seen. Only time that they can be paid attention to. Only time. They don't stand out. And I've seen that. And you know what? I've seen that. So what do they do? What do people do when they want to be seen? They act out. They do stuff. They do some crazy, like some people, they'll do some crazy things. Some people, like you might get some children or something, or indeed some adults, and they'll start acting out. And it's just to draw attention to themselves. Now, a lot of times when we use that word attention, people think it has to do with women wanting attention, but that's something different. This is men and women who go through this. Men and women. And imagine what it means to feel. See, I'm going to tell you what. Now, this is one of those things. I'm from the outside looking in. I'm just saying, and I'm not saying this to brag or anything, but I'm on the outside looking in because one thing, I've always drawn attention one way or the other all my life. And I'm not going to lie, there's times I wanted to be invisible. But there were those times I tried to stay in the back or be quiet, people would come find me. And I've had some people tell me, say, Rom, you can't be a shrinking violet. I know you want to sit back and chill, but that's not you. People are always going to want to know what's on your mind. People going to look at, even when you try to be quiet. I noticed that's when I was in school at the graduate level, and we had an exercise in class. Every class, different people had to speak up about what was going on. When it came my turn, I noticed people paid attention. They were into it. So I was just like, man. So for me, it's from the outside looking in. And I'm going to just say, I feel blessed that I've never been invisible. But other people can't feel that way. Indeed, I've seen times when people will reach out to me privately and stuff, and they would act like generally surprised or concerned that I would respond. And they would say, you responded quickly. I was like, yeah. And people need that. People need to be seen out here. They need to be felt. They need for people to just know that they're there. Have you ever been in a situation where it seemed like people just ignoring you? I'm going to tell a story, and I'm going to tell you the truth. This is one of the few things because I feel bad about, because I'm not big on regret. I'm not big on it at all. Everything I did, good and bad, I accepted. But there was one thing I do regret. I sincerely regret this. And if magically or through some other means I can encounter this person, maybe in the spirit world after my transition, I would apologize. It was a situation. I was young, but that was still no excuse. I remember me and my best buddy, we were on a subway, and Washington, D.C., the metro train. And we were sitting in a relatively empty car. There was plenty of space. And I remember we were sitting kind of to the back of the car, and you know how the seats face. Now, I sat in the back seat. My friend sat on the seat in front of me, and, he stretched out, was looking back. And I remember a young lady came on and got on and sat right next to me. And honestly, she wasn't bad looking. And, you had a couple young players. But for whatever reason, we both ignored her. And she just sat there. And until I had to get off the train. And I think the most I said to her was, "Excuse me," and kept going. And here's the thing. We didn't even talk about her afterwards. And it was just like, as I grew older, I always thought about that. I always think, you know what? I think she wanted us to interact with her. She wanted us to talk to her because she put herself in position. And I thought about how did she really feel that we ignored her? I mean, I pray, and I'm going to say pray, it didn't mess her head up too badly. Because we don't know the situation. She might have been that woman or young girl who was always ignored, always seen as invisible. So she might have fixed up. And honestly, when thinking back to her, she wasn't like ugly or anything. She was you could tell she was fixed up. But we don't know psychologically what might have happened. And I thought about that. Even if we just said hi, it didn't necessarily mean we had to try to get her phone number or anything. If we had just been like courteous and say, "Hey, how you doing? What's going on?" and just engaged in a conversation, it might have been good for her. But as I thought about that, and I always go back to that, because I said, and it was always a case of, why did she do that? Then I think she didn't want to be invisible. She wanted to be seen. She wanted contact. I'm going to get into that contact thing in the next one. But it's a sad thing. It's a sad thing. I think everybody, they want to be seen. Everybody does. Every single person wants to be seen. They want to be heard. Now, I started off talking about trolls. I think in a way they want to be heard. They want somebody to see them. They want somebody to acknowledge them. Unfortunately, they do it in a bad way. There's, of course, positive ways, but then sometimes people get to the point they notice that's the only time people pay attention to them, when they're doing something bad. And that's a crying shame right there. And I'm going to tell you what, to solve that, that's an entire societal thing. That's a societal thing. Every single person is important. Every single person. Every single person. Now, this don't mean you got to be that person where everybody sees you and pays attention and everything. But if at the very least you can have family or people encounter you just to do something, just to say hi, It reminds me, and I'll end it with something I picked up when I was working at this gym in D.C. It was a small gym, and I've mentioned it before. Our biggest thing was just our customer service. Every time one of our members came in, they didn't have to flash any card or anything. Even sometimes when they owed some money, we let them slide, say, "Look, you could get us the money." But the thing is, we knew them as soon as they came in. And I remember one customer saying, that's why I prefer this gym. She said there's other gyms in the area that got better equipment, cleaner equipment. Not like, got rips in the rubber and all of that and the pads and everything. But she said, the thing is, all of y'all know our names. Y'all can see us. I want y'all to think on that, okay? And I'll get back with y'all later. Peace and blessings.